So guys, good morning over here in Asia. What is it? 8:55 a.m. Had a few requests to obviously film a lot more content. I completely jammed out the YouTube with loads of great content, as you've seen, and had a few questions regarding banking. Really is the main one. So obviously, setting up the offshore companies is not a problem. You know, there's many CSPs, corporate services providers, such as myself, other ones online. You might find more expensive or cheaper, depending on who they are. Okay. We're always happy. You know, we also work with other CSPs, so it's quite a small world in the banking and corporate service provider actual world, especially on the ones that you can see on Google, for example. There's a lot which are kind of registered, which do trustees, trusts, company formations. You know, the likes of SVJ, BVI that you probably haven't heard of, but the companies which you actually go to in, let's say, Germany, who basically just have a little affiliate agreement with them. So we go direct to them. We have a great relationship with many of these companies. So obviously we like to give the best service to our clients, but today's topic is actual banking. Now, banking in the simple sense for high-risk industries or high-risk corporations in terms of jurisdiction. Okay, so essentially the AML risk matrix, as I've put previously, actually goes on a few things: the industry, where the company is located, and additionally where the UBO is located. The more harder it is for the bank to see clearly who the UBO is becomes the higher the risk, and it increases the rejection. Just because you've got a company in British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, St. Vincent, Marshall Islands, Hong Kong, doesn't mean you can't bank with a traditional bank. It's just much harder. If the funds are there, such as, for example, a DBS account. DBS account is a notoriously great account for you to obviously get. And they have kind of some minimum requirements. You might have to hold $250,000, $285,000 US dollars in the account at all times. If not, there will be substantial fees. That, you know, it doesn't mean you can't be with a traditional bank, but there are those requirements. Yes, fees could be there, yearly maintenance fees, but you get the access to those private banking services. So that's one aspect of banking. You know, don't be shut off just because you're in a high-risk nature. But for example, if you're from Cuba or Russia and you have a company in British Virgin Islands, you're not going to get onboarded with those banks, typically speaking. Especially if you're maybe in iGaming or adult world or you're an arms broker. Okay, it's not going to get onboarded. Or if it did, I'd be bloody surprised, you know. So generally speaking, what we use to bank for our clients is EMIs. Now, I'm partnered with over 40 to 60 EMIs. I get most of my revenue from a kickback from those, obviously, EMIs. Now, there's a few aspects of this, so a little bit more of a transparent aspect. There's inward transactions, outward transactions, and FX transactions. So these are the fee schedules. Additionally, potentially account opening fee if there's a lot of due diligence or compliance. That can be refundable if the account is not open. That's how I usually process complex banking cases. So first of all, onboarding fee. If you are in iGaming, if you are in this, I don't always charge an onboarding fee, but just to basically put your case a little bit at top, you know, a little bit above some other people's, you can obviously pay us a professional fee that can be refundable if we cannot open the account at the desired account, the desired institution, I should say. That's first. Secondly, inward fees. Depending on the risk of a client, depending on your current situation, let's say you've gone to 10 other providers in terms of other banks, you've gone and found 0.6%, I'm happy to get you 0.5%. I have those connections to do so. In terms of inward fees, FX fees, not everyone's in FX, you know. For example, we need our clients to trade. If not, the bank doesn't like me. Simple. When I bring clients to the bank, my clients trade. They're using the accounts. Therefore, the bank gets paid, I get paid, and obviously the client's making money because he's running a successful business or enterprise. So to cut some things up here, FX fees are really case by case. If I'm setting up a hedge fund and obviously you want to be internal banks, had it recently with a client, he needs very low fees. So he's got medium fees, but all of his operations are under the same umbrella, under the same bank, from CFD broker to a Cayman hedge fund to feeder funds to this. So fees are minimal on an internal transfer system and network. Now, regarding, let's say you were a Bahamas company and you were doing 1 million or 6 million FX a month, and your total volume was 10 million FX. Obviously, I'm only going to do 0.3, 0.4% FX, but if you're just doing 150k a month like FX, and your complete volume is 5 million a month or 50 million a month, and you're doing a very small amount in FX, typically I would just put you on 1%, because it needs to be worthwhile for us to actually bank with you. Unless we then charge some compliance fees, we can then reduce those fees and meet in the middle. It really depends on your business objectives, your risk kind of nature, the competition regarding the current solution which you're looking for. Obviously, some solutions are extremely hard to come by. A lot of our banking connections have taken a very long time. It is a small world. So obviously, in this business sense, which I'm currently in, we do communicate with our competitors with this. We help each other out. Maybe I can't handle a case, but one of my competitors can do. I had this situation yesterday for a $45 million a month credit card system I wanted for a very high risk natured business, and that's all done. I've referred it on, and I'll get a kickback later to obviously have my transparency there. But essentially, we are acting in the client's best interest. The client finds it very hard to bank. As an offshore enterprise, it is very hard to bank. Whether you're a CSP, whether you're in iGaming, whether you're in arms, whether you're in adult world, whether you're just a simple marketing company but you're based in the BVI or Hong Kong, or banking has become harder and harder and harder in the past 3 years, especially in the past year and a half. Labour government in the UK aren't doing anything great in any sense or manner, but especially regarding entrepreneurship for British citizens living in the UK. For me, I'm British. I don't live in the UK. I live in some nice locations, and that's not the UK. So to cut things short, we can get you those bank accounts, obviously subject to those compliance checks, but as long as you operate it like a pretty legit business, that's perfect, and we ask for the documents and you give the documents, we can onboard you. How long does it take? Case by case. Sometimes 3 days, sometimes 6 months. If you're a PEP or someone like that, and we obviously have to declare that, it's going to take 6 months. The bank is going to have to do their due diligence on your case. If you're just a simple marketing company based over in Hong Kong, then essentially it's okay. It shouldn't take too long at all. So that's a little bit of a chat about banking. Now I'll probably do a few more of these chats later on about MSBs, PSBs, EMIs, some crypto stuff, all of this jargon, So let me know any more ideas that you want me to jump into, speak about. It's all I do all day. It's literally corporate services. So very happy to give over some information on YouTube, and obviously I understand it's a space but it's quite hard to learn information about, and you can go ahead and set up a company and say yourself, and then you're like, oh shit, how do I get a bank account? I've been rejected 2 times. That's why it's best to use a registered agent and a provider who you trust and have a long-term relationship with, such as myself. So other than that, guys, I'll see you in my next video, and we'll speak soon.